Welcome to our Let's Talk IBO business session. We are today talking about 6 things that you need to know as an IBO to kind of avoid the pitfalls and those things that you may encounter. So, these are the things we discussed today, are going to be things that we may not think about when you're doing your IBO, or you may just hit the hurdle as you're in development process. So these are just 6 things. I was not going to go live today, but ironically, 5 of these 6 things I've either encountered personally this week, or I've had people inboxing me that they've encountered and they wanted to know what to do. So I said, let me just go live, talk about these 6 things so that you guys can know what to do, keep it moving, keep running your company. So, hi, I am Paris. For those of you that are new, and I have Arise to the Top Call Center Consulting, where we coach Arise IBOs and people on building successful call center businesses. So let me hit the chat. I forgot to hit the chat ahead of time. Sorry about that. Uh, all right. So you guys know the deal that have been here before. I cannot see some of your names. Like if you're chatting me through Facebook, for some reason it doesn't show up on here, your names. So you want to tell me your names as you're coming in and speaking. Hey, Tanya. And if you have questions, feel free to chat. I said we won't be here too long, 15, 20 minutes. I just really wanted to touch on these 6 topics so that we can kind of get this out the way for those of you that have had these problems. And like I said, because I've encountered several of them this week, not just within Arise, but some of our other clients too. So before we hop on there, let me screen share. All right. For those of you who don't know, we do have our website, arisetothetop.com. I've gotten a ton of questions about our seminar, our in-person seminar. So what we're doing is July is actually IBO Success Month in the IBO land. It is the biggest month of the year for IBOs. And what we do during that month is from July 1st all the way through July 30th, we have things going on. So like this year, July 1st, we'll start our 30 days to get your IBO Itch Together challenge. So if you're a new IBO or wanting to jump back in the game, you hop in that challenge and we work together. There's a whole curriculum that you'll follow week by week, steps you'll take so that you'll have your IBO from start phase to launch and growing by the end of the 30-day process. And it's mind, body, and business. So we actually we do workouts, we do positive affirmations, and building the IBO. So that starts July 1st. July 18th through the 21st is IBO Success Virtual Week. So for that whole week, every day, twice a day, we'll have speakers coming on. Myself, we have Daniel, who's doing the technology portion. P is doing taxes. Charmaine's doing the legal trademark, and we have a bunch of other speakers coming as well to help you build your IBOs in the legal, accounting, marketing, pretty much all the different departments that you would have or segments that you need help in your IBO. So that's free to all IBOs and potential IBOs. We tell people if you're thinking about starting an IBO, hop in IBO Success Week, and you'll kind of get to see what we're doing. If you're wanting to participate in that, we do have this sign up for it, and it's attached. It'll be under this video on Facebook and on YouTube. Just sign up with your email and you'll get the correspondence and your ticket into that virtual event. It is literally the biggest virtual event of the summer for IBOs. And outside of our October event, it's the biggest event of the year. So like I said, this one is completely free and it's virtual. We then have the IBO Success Seminar, which is July 22nd through the 24th, which this is our big annual in-person IBOs get together. We have speakers, fun. We do a lot of different activities together, and you're going to, for 3 days, a lot of information to build your company. This won't just be for your IBO. This will be for your business credit. This will be for investing. This will be all kinds of different elements of business, period. So it's really great to get together with other IBOs who know what you're going through. We actually only have 2 tickets left for this. But you can go to our website, arisetothetop.com, hit IBO Success Seminar, and get to the page that shows you the seminar stuff and what the things that you'll need to know for that. So I did just want to hop on that really quick because I've had a whole lot of questions on YouTube and in my inbox. So I said, let me just address it all at once. All right. I'm going to stop screen sharing so we can start. All right. I'm back. Thank you. Yes, I did get my hair cut. Thank you. All right. So let's get started so that I don't have you guys here forever. We're going to start at number 6. And I did have a PowerPoint for you guys on this because you guys know I love a good PowerPoint. I really just don't like sitting talking to the screen. But I don't know where it went, y'all. So let me see if I can open it or re-download it maybe. All right, I'm going to try to re-download this. But while that's downloading, I don't need the PowerPoint. We can just talk. So number 6 on our list of things that you just need to know and be aware of is unemployment filings for agents. So with the pandemic, you guys know if you were sole proprietors, you were able to file for unemployment. And well, a lot of agents are taking that to here. They're no longer able to file unemployment as a sole proprietor. Things have kind of gone back to normal. Well, not kind of, they have. But as an IBO, you still need to be aware that there are a ton of agents. I've had 6 IBOs this week come to me about this that are filing unemployment after a termination from a client. You do not want this to happen. This can kick off a whole host of issues for you, specifically tax-wise, IRS stuff. This can just really catapult things that you don't want going on. So in order to kind of get around that, number 1, in your welcome packets where you're giving them the information about your company, you should have a page that really details them being a 1099 contractor, what it means for them. Hey, love. What it means for them, as well as letting them know, like you can put it in small print or you can put it in regular size print, that being a contractor, they are ineligible for unemployment. The biggest thing with this, with the unemployment offices from different states and counties, is the paper trail that you're leaving. So you need plenty of paper trail showing that you have detailed and they know that they're contractors. So I tell you guys all the time, in your welcome packets, that should be front and center in there, a 1099 information sheet. That unemployment information should be on there. And these welcome packets, don't just give them the welcome packet and say welcome. They need to be signing these welcome packets stating that they received them and read it. So that's a big thing too, because if you just email them the welcome packet with the assumption that they are reading it, then there's no proof that they read it. So whatever information you're giving them, just throw a little signature line on there, a little box that says, I've read all of the required information in this document, and have them sign it. Sign, check the box that they read, because now they are liable for the information that was in that whatever packet that you gave them. So that's number 1. Paper trail, all of that. So that, and here's the PowerPoints. All right. Let me share screen. Yeah, you're going to paper trail all of that. Also, you need to list somewhere in your packets and even in your email correspondence, welcome emails and those sorts of things, list phrases like being a 1099 contractor, ... whatever else you want to say. Specifically state that they're a 1099 contractor in a lot of multiple places. If you have a CRM system, it should be somewhere in there. In the documentation, it should be in there. It should be in emails. You should have several ways to prove that you've let them know that you have 1090, that they were 1099 contractors. The other thing, if you're not already doing it, is you should be recording your phone conversations. This is a business. All you have to do with your recording of your company is just quickly state, we all hear it. Calls may be recorded for quality purposes, blase, blase. Say that, record all of your calls. If you take them from your cell phone, like you have Grasshopper or Google number or something like that, then, I'm not an iPhone holder, so I don't know about the iPhone, but I know Androids have this app called Call Recorder, and it's completely free. And you can record all your conversations. You can have them uploaded into a Dropbox. You can name them, put notes on them, anything that you need to do, and you do it instantly. Like my phone, it records all calls that come through there. So get in a habit of organizing, paper trail, emails, get in a habit of recording your calls with your agents. You never want to give a opening for "I didn't know" or "this was never stated." Have multiple ways that it was stated. All right. Any questions there? And let me share screen now, y'all, because I know you probably were looking at me, looking at the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. So again, beware of the unemployment filings. If you're an IBO long enough, inevitably it's going to happen. And this is not on here, but we do also want to bring this up, is the verification of benefits. If you have agents that are on food stamps, Section 8, Social Security, any of those type of government programs, they're going to need verification, usually during recertification and those sorts of things. You do not provide employment verification. They can utilize their contracts, because as an IBO, if you follow me, I know that you're giving your agents contracts, ICAs, because I talk about it every video. But they can utilize a copy of their SOW and their bank statements for verification. And some of them don't even need all of that, but they can utilize those things. And if I have to, I've only done it twice, I will write a letter stating that 1099 contract worker, when they started, and like what they're currently making. We will provide that, but be very clear that they're a 1099 contractor, and we explicitly state they are not an employee of our company, but they do provide services as a 1099 contractor to some of our clients. Okay, so it's the name of the game in legal is just all about the verbiage, but you can do that. But anything else, you don't provide. Okay, you don't provide employment verification because you don't have employees, unless you do, unless you're operating as employees with your company. Those IBOs are not if they're just doing a rise. All right, moving forward. Number 5, agents that do not certify or show up for certification, training, that sort of thing. If you're with like a Sitel or those type of call centers, they call it agent attrition rate. It's your agent turnover rate. A lot of IBOs get extremely surprised to know that most of your agents don't make it. Don't be surprised. Plan for those events when you're recruiting, because it'll happen. If you have 5 agents that have paid for certification, congratulations. I hope you get 1 to 2 that come out on the other side. It's a numbers game. It's just really kind of the name of the game. Okay. So plan for those when you're recruiting. If you know that you're looking to have 10 solid agents working, well, be prepared to get 40 to 50 in, 30 or 30 to 50 in to get those 10 solid ones. All right. You can minimize attrition rate, but you cannot eliminate it. It's just inevitable. 30 to 50% attrition rate is completely normal in a regular call center environment. And this is outside of Arise, you guys. I told you, I've partners all outside of Arise as well. And just the call center world, 30 to 50% attrition rate is completely normal. So it would be no different for your call center with Arise. You can minimize or try to minimize by having open communication with your agents. And that's from the moment they touch down in your company, okay, and enroll in certification. So you should be contacting them. And for those of you that have virtual assistants, this is one huge thing that your virtual assistants should be doing from before, because Arise will contact them, and now they're calling them 3 to 5 days before certification, and usually the weekend before they may get a call from Arise to confirm that they'll attend certification. You need to be ahead of the game doing the same thing. Once they sign up for certification, welcome aboard. We noticed you signed up for such and such. It's a wonderful client. Maybe throw in a few facts about the client. Make sure you complete background check, drug test, whatever the requirements are. That is your first point of contact. If you have any, you can reach us at all of your information. I mean, social media, email, phone number, all of that where you are taking communication. All right. First email. That's from the moment that they enter in certification, pay that course. You need to be following up a few days later. I see that you're registered for the travel client and this equipment is required. Do you have any questions about the equipment you need? All right. Not only is this a chance for you to answer any questions that they may not openly ask you, this is also a chance for you to make some money if they need equipment. So if you're partnered with like Daniel or Amazon, you're able to say, hey, you can get a headset from and give them your affiliate link. Hey, we have this. Okay, that's a couple days after they sign up for certification. You're asking them about the equipment. Do they have what they need? Do they have questions? A couple days after that, the certification should be about to start, maybe within a week or two. You're just shooting them just following up to see if you have any questions about your certification. These are some tips for certification. All right, you should have a tip sheet. It's a basic Google Doc, Word doc, 5 good tips, something you can send a tip sheet. Quiet space, logging in early. The basic tips that we all know, but could be helpful to someone new. If you have a noisy background, white noise machine, a fan, headset, that blocks noise, that sort of thing. But yeah, 5 good tips. You're emailing them after that. And then you're following up right before certification. Your class is starting in a few days. We're extremely excited to partner with you. Do you have any questions? Are you still planning to attend? All right. So that's 4 good emails that you send before they ever reach certification class. And under each email, you are putting in your communication methods. Me at. We also send another email, a get to know your agents. And it's a survey where we're asking them where they like to shop, what they like to eat, special dates for them, stuff like that. Okay, so you're building loyalty, you're building a relationship prior to them sitting down in the class. From the moment they're signing up, you're building that relationship and nurturing it. And if you have an assistant, a lot of people are asking, hey, I don't know what to tell my assistant to do. Well, 2 things, you guys. You're in luck. In 2 weeks, our virtual assistant company is kicking off where we have already trained virtual assistants for you guys that can do onboarding and all kind of things. So that's kicking off in 2 weeks. But if you already have your own assistant or you're going through Fiverr, Upwork, online jobs.ph or any of those, they can be nurturing these relationships. That's one thing. They should be reaching out to your agents at least 3 times a week. All right. So we got the communicating with them. Day 1 of certification. Oh, you're excited. They're getting some more communication, text, email. You can call them. How is certification? How's your certifier? You're kind of getting a feel for how they feel, and you're just doing that throughout certification. Just implementing that, you guys, will greatly help with your agent turnover rate. It's not going to cure it because naturally people are just not going to make it. It's just like the IBO world. Everyone's not going to be an IBO a year from now. It's okay, but it greatly helps you minimize that drop rate. All right. The other thing you can do is create relationships with other IBOs and agents that are certifiers. There's so much like shadiness going on in the IBO world that now everyone's scared to like create these relationships. And you should be, rightfully so. People are stealing all the time. Lord knows I experience it so often, from stealing my verbiage to my flyers to just everything. My whole blueprint for my company I've had taken. So just, I mean, it happens, but do not let that fear stop you from forming relationship with other IBOs, because as a new IBO, especially, there are going to be clients that you have no clue about. If you form relationships with other IBOs and agents that are certifiers, QAs, and those sorts of things, they can help you help your agent. They can answer questions and those sorts of things. So don't be afraid to formulate those relationships. Just be careful and trust your gut. Like your gut, your spidey senses tingle when things are off. All right, your gut tells you when people are not right. Trust it. A lot of things can be avoided if people would just listen to themselves the first time. Okay, when you're dealing with people, it's a business. This is a cutthroat business. So trust your gut, but don't be scared to build relationships. All right, so that's number 5. Oh, let me minimize to see if you guys asked any questions. All right, no questions. Cool so far. All right, next we are going to number 4. All right, we just talked about this. Number 4, competitor theft. So you will inevitably experience, if you are a business owner, someone is going to try to take your ideas, your branding, your techniques, they say flattery, all of that, blase, blah, whatever. They're going to try to take it. It's inevitable. All right. So this is where that legal part comes in of trademarking your business name, trademarking your logos, copywriting. If you have packets, if you submit copyrights yourself, it's like 30 to $50 to copyright your packets and stuff, maybe 80. I'm trying to think of the price. It's not a lot. It's under $100, y'all. But your documents and stuff like that, you can copyright those. You can trademark your company's name. You can trademark your logos. There are things that you can do to legally protect yourself. But if you don't take the route of legally protecting yourself, and you guys, trademarking and copyright, number one, it's a write-off. It's an expense, but it also adds value to your company. So I don't know if any of you have ever had your companies like appraised, like a house, to get the value of your company. But those are assets. If you ever go to sell your company and you own your trademark, you own your copyright, you have some patents in there, you've now increased the dollar amount that you can ask for. And that's not just IBO stuff, that's just business in general. Because I mean, I don't know how many of you would be trying to sell your IBO. You may be, just depends on your plan. But in general, it increases the value of your company in addition to playing into the legal protection that you will have. Plan ahead. You're going to see your stuff on other people's pages. You're going to be upset about it. It's all good. Get upset and then take action. Okay. If you've legally protected yourself, do not shrug that stuff off and be like, oh my gosh, oh well, everybody's doing it. No, send that cease and desist letter. Okay. They're stealing your stuff. And even if you haven't paid the trademark and copyright, you are still granted some legal protections, albeit the proof, you'll have to provide proof. And it's just a lot harder to fight those battles when you haven't on record trademark, copywritten, or patent your stuff. But you do still have some legal protections for the usage. So you can still send the cease and desist and those sorts of things. Most people stop at the cease and desist letter receiving. You'll have a few that may keep going, but probably 80 to 90% of people, because they're just scared to get that letter. And if you have Legal Shield, they'll send it for you. Will stop there. All right. Now, if you're one that just does decide to shrug it off, well, just keep it moving. It's going to happen. You're going to have IBOs trying to recruit your agents from under you. And then you're going to go on social media and talk about how shady the community is. Great. There's not a business this doesn't happen in. I mean, if you look at Burger King and McDonald's, they'll set up right next to each other and entice each other's customers to come. So it's happening to us. We're just in the virtual world of it. So legally protect yourself. If you're going to pay to get those protections, follow up on that protection when the stuff is happening. And there are all kinds of things. Like, I don't know that I would necessarily do it just for the IBO business, but because I have a business development firm as a whole, and we deal with a lot of clients with stuff like this, there's a program that you can pay for, and the attorneys use it. And it's not a lot of money, but you can pay for it and get dinged whenever anyone tries to file um, anything that may possibly seem like it could infringe on your rights. So don't just, we're starting this business, you're great, and you forget the legal side. Like, people always feel like legal and accounting are optional, when really those are two of the most important segments of your company, parts of your business. So don't be cheap on that, and just get the stuff done. And during our IBO Success Month in July, I'm actually going to have a trademark attorney there to kind of to talk to you guys, or a video with her talking to you guys, and her services and stuff. And she has like payment plans and all kind of stuff for those of us that ball on a budget. But anyhow, competitor theft will happen. Do not let it deter you. Do not let it, it used to ruin my whole day. Honestly, I would see somebody steal my stuff and like go through the roof and ruin my day. I tell you, when I started going ahead and sending those cease and desist, and two of them I actually took to court and won. I don't play with that stuff now. You're not just going to sit here and I've even gone as far, because a lot of people don't trademark and they're not that savvy, as taking one of my competitors, and this has been in the IBO world, and I went and trademarked their stuff because they didn't. They were stealing my stuff, and I was like, I'm about to own your whole brand, baby. And I did. So don't let that stuff slide. When you see it, if you're paying for protection, nip it in the butt. If you do choose to let it slide, don't let it ruin your whole day. Tanya, how can you speak to someone about what? Am I saying your name? Is it Tania or is it Tanya? I'm just going to say Miss Williams. I'm going to keep moving as you are typing in there what you're referring to with speaking to someone. All right. I didn't even know I was still showing up on the screen. Next. Y'all, we are moving. See, I lost the PowerPoint again. There it goes. All right. So number 3 is client contract termination. A lot of IBOs don't plan for this. You should. There's been clients dropping like flies left and right. So client contract terminations, they happen. You have a sad face, because if those of you that have been following me know that when I first started, I put everybody in 2 clients. Both of those clients left the rise. And boy, did I have to rebuild a company from scratch when I hit that 100 agent mark already. It was horrible. I looked just like that emoji. I was crying. It was crazy. So know going into this that client contracts do get terminated, and you will not get a warning. Okay. You may, if you have some inside intel, say, somebody may be like, hey, this has been going on, or hey, it's a chance that this travel client or roadside client or whoever may be leaving. You might get a heads up that way, but do not expect to be told ahead of time when these contracts are ending, and your agents won't be told. I remember one year a client left, and I think it was a few days before Christmas, and like everybody found out their last day of servicing. All right. So you don't put all your eggs in one basket. And the same thing I say about dealing with the rise as a whole. Do not put all your whole company into a rises basket, right? You need to be seeking out other things outside of a rise. Now get your arise setup going first, so that you're not overwhelmed with seeking all these different things. But you need to look for other monetization methods outside of Arise and other clients, right? I tell you, ACD's one. We had a couple that we partnered with some of the IBOs with. If I get partners where I can bring IBOs in, I post it in the group, usually Masterclass group, but sometimes I do post it in the regular Arise to the Top group as well. So, and then you can seek out your own client contracts. But Do not put all of your agents in one client within the Arise stratosphere. It is a recipe for disaster. Even clients that are there for a long time. You guys know we just lost one of Arise's very first clients in the cable industry. So don't put all your eggs in one client basket. All right, we'll keep moving. Next, this one happens a lot. Disgruntled agents. All right, I get a lot of IBOs that are like, what do you do? They're threatening to go to social media, all of this. So you need to learn how to put fires out in the business world. All right. You're keeping paper trails on everything. Remember on I think number 6, we talked about recorded calls, emails, and chat records being kept, just keeping everything. Keep everything so that if it ever comes down to having to prove your integrity yourself, you can go right into that file. And it's easy, y'all. Go to Google on a Google Drive, create a folder, put the agents' names on there that you have, and all the records just put in there. You can put call recordings, emails. You can just put all of that stuff in their folders. So if you ever have an issue, you go find that agent name. Your stuff is right there. You can do it for free in Google Drive. But keep all that stuff. Most things with disgruntled agents are like misunderstandings that can be resolved with conversation. But what I find is that there's a lot of unprofessional IBOs too. You guys are snapping back at these agents like you don't own these companies, like you're not a business owner, and you can't behave that way. Being a business owner really requires you to be the bigger person. And some people don't like to do that. But if you don't like to do that, then don't start the company. Okay. Because you're the leader. And if you can't lead by behaving professionally to resolve misunderstandings, and I don't care how rude, ratchet, crazy your agents get, they'll get that way. Like, it's literally not going to kill you. Most of the time, they're doing it over phone or email. All right. You're not going to die. It's not going to affect really anything you have going on if you let them just let it out and then you come back and talk to them with some sense. Most of them will turn the attitude around. Most of them will come around. Now, there are those few that do not. I've had that once or twice, and that's okay. Do not let people manipulate you or like bully you into doing things that you're not okay with doing. There are things that are outside of your policies and procedures. Because I'll let you vent and then sternly come back and say, unfortunately, blah, blah, blah. Not unfortunately, don't use that. That's like a trigger word, but you guys get what I'm saying. And just reinforce the policies that I have in the company. But most of the time, like I said, it's just a simple conversation needs to be had. Do not be afraid, and this is in business, to hit refund or release for the agent. I've had, like I said, I told you, I've had 2 that were just not able to be satisfied, and I'm cool with that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and release you so that you can find another IBO. Here's a list of IBOs that may be better suited for you. And let them know that they'll need to go in so that they can have your contract reactivated. I'll give them all the steps that they need and let them go. People get so caught up in letting agents go, and you take it so personal. Like, oh my God, I spent 30 hours with this agent. I'm not letting them go if they don't pay this or if they don't do that. It's not worth them slaughtering you all over social media for. Let them go. It's fine. You're losing what, 40, $50 a pay period? Keep recruiting. And even outside of IBOs and businesses, hit refund. I tell you guys, and I deal with corporate contracts. I told you I have 2 different divisions. I have the IBO division in my development company, but I also deal with corporations and middle-sized businesses. I don't care how big the check is. And that's when you have multiple streams of income, you can do that. You can say, hey, refund, we're not going to work well together. But if you're dealing with disgruntled agents, number 1, professionally talk to them and try to resolve it. And I mean professionally. No caps, no exclamation marks. You don't call them when you're already agitated with them, because it will be in your voice, in your tone. Really maintain that professionalism that you expect. Everybody's had bad days. Okay. And if it's just not working out, just release them. It's not a big deal. Just release them. If they need to be released, I have a list of 10 IBOs that I've talked to ahead of time. Hey, and we all have an agreement. If there's an agent that we can't deal with, that's not, can we send them to you? Because sometimes you guys just don't mesh, and they do wonderful with other IBOs. It may just not be, you guys able to do business. That's fine. But get a list or a couple of IBOs that you guys have that understanding. And then, say, hey, such and such is coming. This was the issue. Blase, blase. The IBO will decide if they take them or not. But release it. Don't even kill yourself with the stress. All right. Oh, we got no time. We're going to head over to the last one. Let me make sure you guys didn't have any other questions. All right. And last, so this one, number one, is actually, I put it as number one, you guys, because I had to deal with it this week with two of my clients outside of Arise. They didn't pay us on time. And I guess because it was Memorial Day, but it winded up being like almost $30,000 worth of payroll. And we had to carry it and wait for their checks to hit. But our agents had to be paid. So we had to carry it. They couldn't be paid late. So pay discrepancies will happen. And I see this all the time in the group. Oh my gosh, Arise didn't pay me for this agent. They're not going to pay me till the next pay period. Arise is not going to pay you early for a pay discrepancy, okay? They're not. They're going to make you wait it out. That is not your agent's problem. So when you start as an IBO, you need to have a little nest egg. You need to have a couple $100 sitting in an account just for that situation, because it will happen, unfortunately. And the larger your IBO gets, the more likely it will happen. And it's not, you can't then backtrack as the business owner, like, well, oh, Arise didn't give me the money. Now, I'm not telling you if they come say, hey, my check's $100 short, you just pay them the $100. No, you confirm with Arise that it's the shortage, because you can go to partner support, pay issue steps and confirm about the shortage. The minute Arise tells you that it will be on the next check, you need to be paying that agent that money. Okay. They shouldn't have to wait until the next pay period for you to pay because Arise didn't pay you. That's not good business. It's just not. Those agents have families. They have bills to pay. They came to work with you because for a purpose, not just because they wanted to be cute on the phone. They have bills to pay. And you as the business owner, you as the IBO made that commitment to them that they would service and you would pay them, and your company was responsible for it. Okay, if you're not going to uphold that commitment, then let them be sole proprietors or put them under another IBO that will. But it's bad business for IBOs to make agents wait for pay discrepancies that were not their fault. So you need to have, as an IBO, a little account, and you may not have a lot of money first starting out, but a couple $100 in that account. You want to be an IBO, you get a tax refund, take a couple $100 of that, put it in that account. Don't touch it for these types of situations, because now you're making yourself look bad. Yeah, and I guess indirectly Arise looks bad because it's a pay discrepancy, but you're the person that they're going to. You're the company they signed up with. It's your name that's going to be on social media. So they shouldn't have to wait for you to figure this out. The minute you find out that pay shortage is legit, pay those people. Get them their money so they'll keep working. A lot of the issue with the Rise, we know, is the bad IBOs, the bad seeds that have tainted the name. And those types of little things are contributing to that. So if you're one of the IBOs that are like, oh my gosh, it's a pay issue, what do I do? Do I pay them? Well, first you go to partner support and verify the pay issue. All right. And in the meantime, you're not keeping in touch with your agent. All right. This is pay. This is you playing with people's money. You should be talking to them every day until they get their money, letting them know, hey, we've reached out to this. We're waiting for this. even if you have no new news, you reach out and let them know, we did file this. We're waiting for a response. As soon as we get a response, we're going to reach back out. And then the minute you get that response, we verified this. This was your shortage. It'll be deposited into your bank account the next day. Or, at that point, do you have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Bitcoin? Like however you want to get them the money, please get them their money. But pay discrepancies are going to happen. So you need to prepare for that as an IBO, because like I said, their agents should not have to wait and deal with that type of stuff. That's one reason why you're an IBO, right? Because if they needed to do this and deal with it themselves, they could be sole proprietors. Have you found it harder to reach partner support with issues? Not really. Actually, partner support has gotten a bit quicker than it used to be. And I know they've been diligently working on that partner support. The issue that I found with partner support is the information that's given. It's not consistent throughout all the agents on a lot of issues. But with pay issues, no. Sometimes they'll kick back and, try to figure out where you got the numbers for, why you think it's short. And at that point, we just always say the same thing, like Starmatic and personal records are not aligning with what was paid. And then we always request for them to give us a breakdown, because they can give you the actual breakdown of minutes that your agents were on the phone. They can send you that breakdown. Some of them will just send it. Sometimes you have to request it, but we always request it. All right, guys. So what questions do you have? I have about 5 more minutes to do questions. I know I've kept you guys a little bit, like 10 minutes over, which is good because sometimes I keep you like a whole hour. So we're kind of on track, kind of not. But what questions do you have? So I know I haven't been live this whole month. I told y'all last month I had literally just gotten braces, and I've been trying to like work this mouth situation out. So I hadn't gone live in a while. But I do want to answer your questions. So which ones do you have? And if you have questions after like these lives, you can put them in the Facebook group. If you're looking for an answer like from me, you have to tag me, because sometimes I don't see what you guys are posting until like days later. So you would have to like type your question out and then actually tag me. And then 85% of the time, Facebook will send me the notification. Yes, lack of information is a huge issue. The background checks have been a bit horrible lately, as well as those assessments, those new assessments. So yeah, those have been issues. We're hoping that these assessment things are changed and resolved a little bit quicker. I know that there's been several IBOs that have reached out to Arise directly about it. And then, yeah, the background checks are a bit finicky too. Usually, though, if you contact the background check people directly, it's usually a lot easier to get the stuff resolved than trying to go through Arise. And I would usually contact them first, because what Arise will do is send you to them anyway. So if you go ahead and contact them first, and then you let them know right then and there, hey, we've already spoken to them. This is what was stated. We need ABC. So if you have a background check issue, just be proactive and contact. I think it's First Advantage, or I forgot the name of it. It's in Ava, though, the contact information. Contact them first. Is there a trick for partner support? There's not really a trick. It really just depends on who you get, on how well your issue or quickly your issue is resolved, unfortunately. But I told y'all what I have done was I'll open up partner support in like Google Chrome, and then go back in like my Internet Explorer or Bing or whatever it's called, and open up another partner support, and just simultaneously talk to them and like see if I get the same answer. I do that often, actually. And then it'll be like, well, I'm actually currently talking to such and such, and they're saying something else. So what's the answer? The virtual week. So yeah, the IBO Success virtual week is in July. It's all in July because July is IBO Success month. So the reason why we do it in July is because by July you're hitting quarter three. So now you've already done quarter one and quarter two to know what you need to, or at least have an idea of, hey, this is working or all this stuff is not working. So in July, you're able to really come in and take the information you get and apply it, opposed to the beginning of the year or things like that, or June, it's still quarter two. Like those times, you're not necessarily ready to take the information and apply it because you're still trying to do, your thing. But by July, you're like, all right, my year end goal is this. I'm not here. I'm kind of lost on this topic. And then you can go to Virtual Success Week and attend whatever topic you need. Or you can come to the IBO Success Seminar live and see us all live. So yeah, that's the 18th through the 21st. And then, like I said, the links are under here. You can sign up, and the virtual week is free for all IBOs, prospective IBOs, your kids. Send your virtual assistants to it if you have them. You can send anyone can attend. So you just have to sign up on the landing page that we have. And that link, I'll put it here. Hold on. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. All right. How can you get an agent who was with another call center to yours? So if they're with another call center, they have to be released. That IBO has to release them. If that IBO will not release them, then they'll have to start their own IBO. And they can then, terminate and then come under yours. Does the workaround for that still work? So I can't talk about the workaround because we're on a public YouTube platform. But theoretically, you have to get the IBO to release them. And then they can sign up. If they're a sole proprietor and you want them to come to yours, they'll have to terminate their MSA stuff and then go back in to join your company. If they're currently servicing for another IBO and they're they have a schedule, then do also be informed that they will probably lose their hours. I know they've been trying to work on not having that happen, but it hasn't yet. So if they do get released to come to you, they will probably lose the hours that they have scheduled. They will more than likely. How do you sign up for the 30-day? Yes. So it's the same link for the Virtual Success Week. And starting at the end of June, we'll be sending out the information to, if you guys want to do the 30-day challenge. I said it's mind, body, and business though. And I only want IBOs that are committed for those 30 days to being healthier. So working out, to getting your business together, organized. Don't hop in if you're not going to be 100% committed, because that is our commitment month. It is raining. Any other questions plaguing you guys in IBO land this week? No. And Tanya, I see it. It's Tanya. Okay. Oh, I missed that question. Building outside contracts, where do you find the best opportunities? So, as far as outside contracts, it's going to depend on what type. And I think we talked about this a little bit in the last video, our last live, but it's going to depend on the direction that you're trying to go. Are you trying to be a staffing agency? Are you trying to be like a BPO, a temp agency? Do you want to deal with small businesses? Are you looking for large corporations and government contracts? So where you'll find the best opportunities is going to depend on what exactly your end goal is. Now, the starting point for a lot of the opportunities you can find if you're going virtually is on LinkedIn. I encourage you, though, especially with COVID not necessarily being over, but dying down some, to really just get out in your community and join your chambers of commerce and your community business groups. I get a lot of business that way, too. So I definitely encourage you to look at that route as well. But yeah, it would be you figuring out what your end goal is. And I always tell people that start at your end goal and then work backwards to understand where those best places would be at. So, for instance, if you wanted to do like a staffing agency, then your best opportunities would come from you. And we've done this. So we would go and Google. If you're doing this virtually and not in person, you can go and Google like work from home jobs, right? You'll see all these companies hiring. So you just go, you pull up the company, you go to LinkedIn, right? You'll find the CEO, all of them on there. You see that they're hiring for positions that you can fill. We just reach out directly to them and we'll say, hey, we have so many workers that are ready to work. I see that you are looking for people for these positions. I can fill them for you. Let's talk, right? And that's how you start getting and networking to get those contracts. That's one way. If you're looking on the staffing side, though, I said there's so many different sides. You had an agent terminate MSA, and as soon as she joined, she could not sign into the portal. Was it all in the same day? Because sometimes it takes a couple days after that termination, like 24 to 48 hours, for her to get that portal access again.